All right, gang. Title is DNA. Does anybody know what DNA stands for?
Dina.
Dina. Right. You ready? I'm gonna spell it for you. Deoxy. No. And this is recorded. Fantastic. All right. Fantastic.
You're on YouTube, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're recording. I saw the biology.
We should make them some juice.
Deoxyribo.
That's a big word.
It's not done yet. Nucleic
What?
acid.
No wonder we just say.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you say it?
Wait, is DN one whole
Nuclear
word?
blah blah.
Wait, is that all one word, or did you just forget to put a space?
Deoxy.
Yeah, we're
Ribo.
Is nucleic its own word,
Nucleic
or is it
acid.
with the D?
This is all one word, and then the acid is separate. Deoxyribonucleic acid. That's what DNA is.
Wait, so it is one word?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't say.
Somebody tell me. Hey, how many syllables is that?
Deoxyribonucleic
It says 10 syllables. That's why DNA, it's only got 3. That's nice. DNA. All right. Now, in a nutshell, what this is the code.
For I know.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I don't.
Oh, well, go ahead and tell me what.
For gene.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put this in here. Is the code for everything living. Okay? These are the instructions inside of our cells. They basically, the DNA tells our cells what to do. It's got all the code and all the instructions for everything that a cell needs to do. And that's what it is. It's got a really long name because in its molecular structure it's kind of complicated. It is a nucleic acid. Deoxy, that whole introduction part here, that deoxy, just means that there's an oxygen missing off of one little corner. So they had to say that. Ribo is a type of sugar, and then nucleic acid. It's an acid because this in solution gets rid of hydrogen ions, and that's what an acid is it's something that puts off hydrogen ions. But let me simplify this, okay? Let me show you a very simple drawing. Okay, DNA is made of monomers. That's from an earlier unit. Those are the small pieces. I don't know why I put small there. Small pieces called nucleotides. They're called nucleotides. And the nucleotide has these 3 parts in it. I'm going to simplify this a lot. We're going to put a little circle here. And we're going to have that sticking off the top of this little house as a satellite on the roof. And out here in the backyard is a pool. Okay?
Okay.
Satellite on the roof of the house, we got a pool. Pool's huge. It's bigger than the house. There's an Olympic-sized swimming pool in like a super tiny house. Alright, so here's the name of these 3 parts. This is a nucleotide.
You know that tasty bread? Yeah. You know, like the 5 seconds.
What? What's the name of the song? By Sarah Burr something, I think.
I believe you're right. Yeah, it's called Love Song by Sarah Bareilles, maybe? Is that right? You got
right.
it. Rocked it out. Okay, 3 parts of a nucleotide. First guy right here. So you know that was a nucleotide.
See, then I didn't have to. Okay. You just made my nose look really bad.
That's the nucleotide. First thing is called a phosphate group. Phosphate group is this thing right here. It's the satellite on the house. And the house. The house would be a place that ants would love to live because the house is made of sugar.
Keep using all them tasty 10-second videos about how to make food. Isn't it cool? Because I was on mine the other day.
Oh, I was doing that last night.
I just realized something. They were like, hey, you shouldn't eat so much sugar. It's like, listen, my DNA is made of sugar. Okay? It's true. Your DNA. I'm so sweet, my DNA is made of sugar. That's a fact.
Brittany,
Okay.
you know what Oreo balls are?
Yeah.
This thing right here
They're kind of gross.
is called a nitrogenous
I want to make that 7-layer dip.
base.
Even though I don't like beans. It's good.
All right.
I just put hamburger meat.
You can tell folks watching at home that 5th hour is right before lunch. Everyone's thinking about food. All right. So nucleotide is made of these 3 parts: a phosphate group. I don't put that there. Phosphate group.
Or you
The
could
sugar.
put 1, 2, 3 to match the numbers.
That'll work too.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Oh wait, are we drawing inside of them?
That would mess up your notes, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because I wrote the numbers inside.
Okay, then we won't do that.
Awesome.
The sugar in DNA is this. This is where that huge part of its name comes from. It's called deoxyribose. That's okay. You'll find it someplace. Sugar is called deoxyribose. If you want to label it on here, underneath here, you can too.
Right at something.
All right. So, now the phosphates are consistent. There's really not much that changes about this. Why did I draw it like this? Let me show you.
I'm so hungry.
I bet I've got it in a book here someplace. It looks similar to this, but again, these are chemicals, so it's not going to be exactly like that. What I've drawn is a very simplified drawing, but it's not too far off of what the nucleotide looks like.
Mr. Haley, do you want us to put S inside the house
You can if you want for the sugar.
and N inside the pool?
There we go. Yep. There we go. Okay. Well, sorta. Here's what they're supposed to look like, okay?
Okay.
This is what it would look like. So, and it doesn't matter if it's backwards or forwards, okay? Here they have there's the satellite. Okay, so you kind of picture this backwards. Here's the house and this back, and that's okay. It's okay if it's going one way or the other. But the way they arrange is like this, okay? These things line up like this is one little piece right here from my end of my finger over to this edge. And they line up in a big chain like this. This is all the pools stacked up like that. And these chains come together, okay? Because we said DNA kind of looks like a twisted what? You remember?
Taco Bell cinnamon twist.
Twister.
Taco Bell cinnamon twist.
Oh,
But it's got rungs on it like a ladder, okay?
Twisties.
Folks,
They're red,
this right here,
Twizzlers.
this is the step of our ladder, okay? So watch me. I'm going to tell you about this guy for a second, all right? There are 4 types of bases in DNA. Okay?
Okay.
Their names, and you'll recognize the first letters in them. Okay? They are A, G, T, and C. Those are the letters.
The numbers for the pattern.
The pattern.
Yeah, it's
The
where-
thing you told us last.
Yeah. Oh, good. I did tell you that. Good. All right. So we're building on that then. A stands for adenine. G stands for guanine. T stands for thymine. And C stands for cytosine. Yeah, I did tell you that. When we were looking at chromosomes, we zoomed way into them so I could show you this.
Yep.
And we drew this twisted ladder like this kind of.
Mr. Haley, isn't the tea though? Isn't that a type of food seasoning? you put on your food.
Oh, that looks like it. If I take thiamine like this and I just put an E at the end, it makes the word's pronounced thyme, and thyme is a seasoning. Yeah, you're right. It's an herb that people put on their food, like rosemary, sage, things like that. Thyme. This one is thiamine. Okay, so on our twisted ladder here, we're going to have A, G, T, C, A, G, T, C. The way I made my twisted ladder, all I did was
I
this.
screwed up.
You make a little line that goes up and down like that,
And then you make it.
and you make one that does the exact opposite. Where the parts that go out, we go in, and so on and so forth.
Mine looks like a doll.
Mine look like a tie.
That's a complicated twisted line.
Yeah, I messed up the first time.
Aren't you supposed to make ladders? I mean stairs and
That's what we're about to do.
Oh.
Now there's a rule. There's a rule of how these things come together.
I'm just gonna redraw it to focus on.
Okay. The rule is called the rule of complementary base pairing.
I did it wrong.
Okay, this is what the rule is. A
I can.
pairs with
A pair T. C. T. G.
T.
Oh, sorry, first time.
G pairs with C. That's it. That's the whole rule. So across from each of these, line them up with who they're supposed to match up with. So A should go with T. G should go with C.
ooh.
And we'll put some lines in between them. Well, I've been drawing DNA for a long time. All right. So, and this is kind of a simplified drawing thereof. But folks, if I was to sum this all up into one thing,
Oh, we're doing another one.
oh, you don't have to. I was just filling in the one that I did here. Okay?
Okay.
Did I tell you if these are the rungs of the ladder, how many rungs are in humans?
You
Wait,
said
like
a billion.
as many words there are in the library.
Yeah, that's right. So 3 billion. 3 billion. They're called base pairs. See how it's a base and another base and they come together? That's what's called a base pair. 3 billion base pairs in human DNA. That means in every one of your cells, there's a strand like this that has 3 billion little rungs on its ladders. And here's the big idea we're going to end with today. What makes me different from a fern, dog,
There's a DNA thing.
or bacterial cell is the
Is that parts of
blank.
pairs?
Pairs. Yeah, pairs.
Is the base
Is the blank of
the pair?
the bases.
Order.
Yes.
Is it order?
Yeah, it is correct. Okay? What makes you and me, ladies and gents, both different from each other and different from ferns, dogs, or bacteria is the order of the bases. What order these letters go in is what makes us all different from one another and different from all of the living things. All living things have this stuff. Okay? But what makes us different from them is the order. I could also use the word for this. So if you see this, I don't want you to get confused. The other word is sequence.
Heard that before.
If you see the word sequence, I don't want you to get confused. It means the same thing as order. Okay? So here's the big ideas. DNA is called deoxyribonucleic acid. It's the code for every living thing. It's made up of nucleotides. Nucleotides have 3 parts: phosphate, sugar, and a base. There's 4 types of bases: adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine.
Wait, so where do the bases are? The bases in each one are the bases in each one of the
The rungs,
no, are the bases in each type of the 3 parts?
the base is this guy right here.
Base is only number 3.
Uh-huh. Yep. Question. Sure. Okay, back to, let me finish my ideas here, gang. These bases pair in only this way. A pairs with T, G pairs with C. And what makes, we got 3 billion of these things in each one of our cells. What makes you and me different from each other and from ferns, dogs, bacteria, or any other living thing is the order that these bases go in.